Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa, and it's an absolute honor to welcome Deborah Aleesi to the show. She is the founder of Face Forward International. Thank you so much for being here and for the work that you do.
Thank you so much for having me.
We know that you are an acclaimed businesswoman and you are not going to stop until you put the brakes on domestic violence. Right?
Absolutely.
Tell us about your personal journey with this.
I think, well, years ago, when I started Face Forward, I feel like Face Forward found me. And at that time, I didn't really realize why, but when I look back, I mean, I was a survivor of domestic violence. And then I think even like a couple of years ago, I realized I had more than one abusive relationship. So it was kind of a pattern in what I went through in life. So it made sense to start Face Forward, doing something an experience that I went through.
You're helping domestic violence and human trafficking. How did you decide exactly your expression within helping those communities?
Well, we did so well in domestic violence, helping survivors, and it just made sense to do something. The next step was human trafficking, because that's a major problem around the world right now.
Tell us about that.
Well, the cartel and other villains used to sell drugs, and now they sell people.
Wow.
So it makes more money a year than Netflix, Facebook, Yahoo together. So if they sell drugs, they sell it one time. They sell a human being, they can sell it over and over again.
It's awful.
And then we went to acts of crime, and then this year we're going to open the doors in a new division. One of our doctors is going to be spearheading that, and it's going to be veterans of war.
Wow.
So we do a little bit of everything now.
And we know that Face Forward is now working in the transgender community. We had the honor of seeing Caitlyn Jenner win the award.
Yes.
Tell us about your relationship with her and in that community.
Well, we had one of our first patients this year was a transgender, and it made perfect sense to reach out to Caitlyn and ask her for her help. And she did, and we're going to further that. I think there's going to be great things coming from it.
Absolutely.
What's been most helpful in getting the word and the awareness out around sort of your mission here?
Press, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys really make a difference. When we do something, I go on a TV show, we get so many requests from that. And then it's just spreading the word of what we do, because I believe we're the only charity in the world that's providing the therapy, flying the patients here, taking care of all of that. So even though our doctors donate their time, we still have to raise a lot of money for the airfare and accommodation, anesthesiologists, operating room costs. And like one surgery for materials can cost Face Forward $10,000.
Wow.
And most of our patients need 10 surgeries.
Wow, 10.
Yeah.
It's incredible the community of doctors you have. We know your husband, the co-founder, Dr. David Aleesi, is actively providing these surgeries pro bono.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, and we have a few great doctors that donate their time, and they give 100% of their heart.
We heard the story of one of the gentlemen, I think it was his sister-in-law, was driving down the freeway, and some teen kids decided it'd be funny to drop some acid off the top of the bridge, and it went onto her windshield, broke, and went all over her face. I mean, these are incredible stories that you don't really even, you can't even believe it's reality. There's so many people we saw at the event that have clearly been your patients that are thriving and doing well. What are some of the stories that have been the most touching to you?
Andreas was there on Saturday, a gentleman from London, and he opened his door on Christmas Eve and he thought it was carol singers, and it was the wrong, mistaken identity, it was the wrong home. So someone threw a gallon of acid over him, and he lost everything in that moment. I mean, he was on life support for 6 weeks. But he's the most positive human being I think I've ever met. And he's just said he's glad it happened to him and not his wife or his child. And just his energy, his positivity, and he said he feels like he was chosen for this to happen to him because it's brought his family closer.
Where was that?
In London.
What?
In London. And the thing, I mean, he's had surgery in National Health, but by the time he waits for the next surgery to come through, it can take a year, it can take 2 years. By that time, there's more scars set in. And Andreas has probably had 20 surgeries, but 3 with us so far. And we'll continue to work with him through the years.
It was an incredible moment when we saw Sarah Gilbert introduce an incredible new artist, Will, and she had this song, Scars.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, first of all, voice of an angel. My God, what an incredible talent she was. But then we saw some of the men and women who have received services and the surgeries from your foundation take the stage, arm in arm with the doctors.
Yeah.
It was a powerful moment to see the difference that your foundation has made in these lives. How did that make you feel?
It's incredible when someone walks in the door at Face Forward, their head is always back, they feel almost ashamed. And when they leave, it's the light in them. You can see a shine and their confidence, and they're just ready to take on the world. You know, some of our patients have had master degrees now and going to law school. And Face Forward just doesn't give you the fish, we give you the fishing rod, which means that we want you to be independent. We want you to do something great with your life. We want you to make a change.
You know what's interesting about you too is that I think your consciousness is so abundant because not only are you, I mean, look, you know, you have beautiful jewelry, beautiful life. This gala was over the top, and I think it's okay. I think there's a message there to think we can have an abundant life, we can have wealth and wealth of friends and everything, and we can give back. And I think that people don't see that in Hollywood. We see the limelight, we see the gossip, we see kind of the chaos, but there's so many extraordinary people in Hollywood doing good things. What has been your experience in the community here?
Well, I think people, for me personally, I think they think I do Face Forward because I'm married to a plastic surgeon. And it's not the case. It's really because I've had an experience, not what our patients have gone through, but I've had an experience. And to see, I mean, Saturday night, that room was, the reason it was beautiful was because of sponsors. So we work hard all year to make people come together. You know, the Square Root did amazing things with the venue and how they put it together. And they donated 60% of what that room was.
And man, they did a good job. Those
sure did.
centerpieces with the huge red roses, and they were
The
draping
hanging baskets
over.
from it. It was
It
incredible.
was really well done.
And you know, everyone in that room had, the lighting was donated. This was donated. That was donated. So
The bouquet bar boxes.
And so people say, "Oh my God, did you spend?" No, I did not spend money on this. But we have amazing people that want our guests to leave and remember Face Forward.
And you raised money, over
Yeah.
$500,000 that will go to
Yeah.
give back. Tell us about how the funds will be allocated that you were able to raise for the gala.
So it's going to help, obviously, new patients. My goal is to continue throughout the year to obviously make more and more money. And I'm hoping by maybe the next 2-3 years, we can have a home in Los Angeles where we can house 6 patients at one time and bring patients in, do the therapy, have everything under one door. That would be our dream in the next few years.
So tell people how they can contribute and give back to your
Go to
dream.
our website. We also need volunteers. We're always looking for board members, committee members. Celebs can always do T-shirt campaigns. But just help us get awareness and create funding.
Such an inspiration.
And without sponsors, without board members, without volunteers, Face Forward wouldn't exist. So even though I donate my time, my husband donates the time, it doesn't make a difference. We need the funds.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all of your
Thank
amazing
you.
work. Have a beautiful, we'll be right back. I don't
Thank
know what
you
to say.
so
I'm
much.
speechless. So
Yeah.
it's really
No,
touching,
it really
honestly.
is. Stay
Thank
tuned. We'll be
you.
back with more on Good Morning La La Land.